Hello and welcome to this vlog post. I'm narrator Rebecca McKernan and today I'll be sharing with you, somewhat nostalgically, a little bit sad but also quite triumphant, the third in Andy Peloquin's Queen of Thieves trilogy. Now it sort of goes without saying that as this is the third in the trilogy, there will probably be some spoilers in this excerpt, so if you are bothered about that and haven't read or listened to the first two books, then maybe just stop listening now. If however you have, and they are fabulous, so I obviously recommend it. You can find the first book, Child of the Night Book, and the second book, Thief. Did I say Night Book? Child of the Night Guild, and the second, Thief of the Night Guild, on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. But this is the third, Queen of the Night Guild. Forgive me, reading from my phone. I'm going to read to you the back of the book. I am Ilana, journeyman of House Hawk, and vengeance will be mine. Ilana has lost everything, her friends, her home, her family, her dreams of freedom. All that remains is a burning desire to find the bastards who burned down her city and tried to kill her. But a traitor hides among the ranks of the Night Guild, poisoning her friends and allies with lies. Cast out and condemned to death, Ilana has no choice but to turn to old enemies, to save not only her life, but her guild and city in the process. Read, or listen to, the breathtaking, heart-stopping conclusion to the Queen of Thieves series. Bear with me one moment while I find the book on my phone. I'm going to read to you the first couple of pages of chapter 1. And, sorry, again, this is Andy Peloquin's Queen of the Night Guild. Is that right? Queen of the Night Guild series from the Queen of Thieves. Oh gosh, sorry, it's first thing on my Monday and I just don't have any words coming out in the right order today. I guess I'm going to stop talking and just read. Chapter 1. Flames of a sickly blue-green consumed Old Town Market, and Ilana's world with it. Fear rooted her to the spot. She couldn't move, couldn't think. She could only stand on the premise rooftops and watch the fire consume everything she held dear. The rumble of a collapsing building snapped her from her stupor. Codin! She raced toward her home with speed born of desperation. She ducked under eaves, leapt up walls, and darted across the bridges of the Hawks Highway, not caring that a single misstep could send her plummeting. She had only one thought: save her son. An inferno consumed Old Town Market. To circumvent the blazing marketplace would cost her precious minutes. Without hesitation, she slithered down a rope and sprinted directly toward the fire. Smoke hung thick and heavy in the air, blotting out the stars. Her body ached from the frenzied pace, but she had no time to slow. Codin needed her. Tongues of green fire licked at her as she passed. The wind that rushed through the burning stalls, tents and shops blasted her with the heat of a smith's furnace. Covering her face with her cloak, she rushed through the eerily coloured blaze. People shouted and cried, and pack animals added their screams to the chaos. Figures rushed past her in a blur. Ilana twisted out of the path of a burning wagon pulled by terrified horses. Hands grabbed at her, but she ripped free of the grasp and shoved at the person. A cry of pain echoed in her ears, accompanied by the sound of a collapsing stall. Nothing mattered but reaching her child in time. She barreled her way through the marketplace and dashed up the street that led to her house. Fire consumed her front gate. Lungs burning, she raced around the back and bounded over the wall. Her eyes widened in horror. It seemed as if the stone walls themselves burned. A pillar of green fire reached devouring fingers toward her. Instinct sent her hurtling toward the back door. She crashed through it and into a world filled with blinding smoke and blistering flame. The kitchen was ablaze, but the fire hadn't yet reached the stairs leading to the stuffy room on the second floor, the room where Codin and Rhea slept. A loud crack sounded overhead, and she jumped to one side as a roof beam collapsed. Sparks flew up, stinging her eyes and scorching her hands. The roof crackled and groaned, sagging above the stuffed armchair. Cloth and wool burned along with the rest of her home. Though her lungs begged for air, she forced herself deeper into the blaze. She had to get Codin and Rhea out. Her feet flew up the stairs, but she hadn't made it halfway up before the upper level buckled. She had a heartbeat to leap to one side to avoid being dragged down by the crumbling staircase. Sharp pain lanced up her right leg as she landed. She collapsed, but leapt up a heartbeat later, eyes fixed on the door that led to Codin's room. She had no way to get up there, no way to save him. "Codin!" Her cry cut off in a choked cough. The eerie green flames gave off a smoke so thick it clung to her body and seeped through her skin. Her stomach heaved and twisted. In desperation, she cast around for anything she could use to get up to the second level. Rhea and Codin needed her. She had to reach them. But the fire consumed everything. There was no way to save them. The blaze surged toward her, as if sensing fresh fuel to devour in its all-consuming fury. She hacked and gagged in the thick smoke. The lack of oxygen set her head whirling. Was she imagining it, or did she hear a faint scream? The stench of burning hair and cloth filled her nostrils. She had seconds before the fire engulfed her. Instinct screamed at her to flee. Her gaze darted up to the second level. How can I leave him? She had no choice. She staggered toward the back door on leaden feet. A cold numbness filled her. She moved without thinking, her body directing her as her mind collapsed. With her back against the wall, she watched the blue-green fire consume her house. A figure appeared from the swirling smoke. A man with a soot-stained face knelt before her. His mouth moved, but she heard nothing. The crackling flames and the pounding of her heart drowned out all other sound. The hypnotic dance of fire held her rapt. It seemed she watched the house burn from behind her own eyes. Sorrow held her captive within her own body. She could do nothing but stare in horror as the fire destroyed her world. So that was the first few pages of chapter 1 of Andy Peloquin's Queen of the Night Guild. It's book 3 in his Queen of Thieves series. That's what I meant to say before I started doing this excerpt. You can listen to the first 2 books on Audible, Amazon, iTunes, and I shall put the link for the third. And I do have a few codes. If anybody wants a freebie, just shout out. They are limited, but pop me a message and I'll send one through to you in exchange for an honest review. Thanks very much, and thank you for listening. Thank you for your time, and I shall see you soon. Mwah.